training, and today we're going to talk about boosting your post. What should you boost or advertise, how to choose your ideal audience, and hacks to get better results. And what this is going to lead to is more conversations. It's going to help you better nurture relationships and ultimately make more sales and position yourself as the expert out there with your sphere, your prospects, and your past customers. When we look at Facebook and why we're even involved in social media on any level, with Facebook being our main example, because it is the 800-pound gorilla, your goal on Facebook is to get into your prospects' news feeds, to get into your past customers' news feeds, to get into your sphere's news feeds. And there's really 4 ways to do that. If we were going to go ahead and break this down, the first way you could do it is to be friends with them. Now, let's say you have 1,000 friends on Facebook. The maximum is 5,000. You have about a 7% of achieving your goal by being friends with them on Facebook. Of course, they didn't connect with you as friends on Facebook to see about your business, to see about your store sale, to hear about the new listing you have. Why they connected with you was because they thought you're a nice person and you could keep relationships going. So the 7% number is this. Let's say you're having a holiday party, you were talking it up on Facebook. 93% of people are not going to see it in their newsfeed, about 7%. And those are going to be based on Facebook's algorithm. And edge rank, you may hear that term. Basically, how many people that you're connected to have liked your comments, given you a reaction, have commented, have shared, or even viewed your stuff. When they come out there and they do one of those 4 activities, Facebook's algorithm kicks in and says, well, they're at least kind of interested in what Jane's posting. Let's go ahead and show her more of Jane's stuff. But there's 93% of people that we might want to communicate, and if we're not putting people into lists and we're not, targeting, helping Facebook to determine who those 7% are, we're not going to be real successful. So we cure some of that with my 6-step process. As you add friends, put them into lists, and there's videos in our members area about that. We've done webinars on that. The second way is for them to like your page. And when you set up a business page, one of your goals is to go ahead and get likes. But even if you go out there and you get 1,000 likes on your business page, maybe 20%, 2% of the people, maybe 20 people are going to see your post. I've got, 5,000 likes on this business page. And in the example I'm going to show you later, 97 people, about 2% see it organically. And if I want the other 4,900 people to see it, I've got to pay to play. I've got to advertise it to them. I've got to boost that post. If you have people in a group, that's a great strategy. Like I have a lot of realtors, they've set up groups revolving around zip codes or subdivisions, with 1,000, 1,500 homes in it. They've got half of the people in the group, and then they're able to get into people's news feeds. Now, that is dependent upon the person on the other end that's a part of the group. Are they choosing to receive all the posts, see them first, or only see them on a needs-be basis? So we don't have a lot of control over that. Our best way to ensure that we get into people's news feeds, our prospects, customers, people in our sphere, people we're trying to target, is to understand how to boost and promote posts. Basically, how to pay to have a sponsored post in their news feed. And if you were to look at my news feed here, a news feed of one of my friends, they would see one of my posts that show up with a question. The reason it's showing up in their news feed is because along the way, they probably commented or liked the post. And then down here in their news feed, they would again see another post, this time from Tom Ferry, but it's a sponsored post. So when you show up in people's news feeds, if you're one of the first 3 strategies, you're a friend, you like their page, you're part of the group, you're going to show up just like this, like you see on the screen, and then you're going to scroll through your news feed, and then you'll probably see posts from companies with people targeting you. Now, why would Tom Ferry target this person that we did a screenshot of their news feed? Because they're in real estate, and he's saying, hey, I want to get my message to realtors, and I want them to go ahead and download something so I can create a conversation or get a lead. So that's how it works. You want to get into people's news feeds, and you've got a way to do that organically, 3 different strategies, and then the paid strategy. The paid one is the most reliable of the 4. So when I called this Boosting Your Post for Maximum Productivity, this webinar, people were messaging me and saying, you're going to do a webinar about how to use the blue button? Yes and no. When I use the term boost post, it's going to mean promoting your post. Now, Facebook makes that boost post option on your business post very visible because they want you to spend money. And if you do everything else I teach you to do, meaning that you create custom audiences, you save these audiences, you upload your client database, then you can use the boost. You got a lot of likes on your business page. You can use the boost post very effectively, and that's a very easy way to do it. But for today's conversation, we're not talking about the blue button. We're talking about promoting posts. A lot of that's going to be initially done through a thing called the ad creator, which I'll show you. And then later on, from our mobile device or from our business page, we are going to be able to click the boost post button and get more better results from it. So where should you start when you're boosting your posts, when you're advertising? If I was to post this Zig Ziglar quote, which I did on my business page, I have a choice to either use the blue boost post, or I go from my desktop to the upper right-hand corner here where the drop-down arrow is. And what I'm in it right next to my notifications, messages, friends request, and the help button, there's an arrow. I drop down and I go to where it says create ads. So if you're making a note, make a note, use the ad creator tool, and then drop to create ads. Now there's a third one out there that's called the Power Editor. And as I understand it, the Power Editor is going to be merging most of its features into the create ad tools and going away. So they're going to combine the best of this into one function. But I teach create ads because the Power Editor can be very intimidating, and a lot of you are just getting started with this. So we could either boost it, which is going to be easy and quick. It's like going to the store and buying a pre-made salad. You're going to pay a little bit more for it. You're not going to be able to choose the exact ingredients you want. Or you can go up here and go get yourself some spinach, get yourself some almonds, get yourself some tomatoes, get yourself some Brussels sprouts. Just put the right amount of dressing on it and roll from there. It's going to be a little cheaper in the long run, and you're going to have more options available to you. Let's see if I could get this video to play and broadcast to you. Let's watch this together. Hopefully it'll broadcast well. It's about a 2-minute video on what boosting post is all about. Let me see if I can get this to play for you. I'll also stick this in the members area.
Boosting a post is an easy way to reach more people who like your page and people who don't know about your business yet. When you boost a post, it may appear in your audience's newsfeed, the constant stream of updates from someone's friends, family, and things they care about. You can boost a post when you create it or after you publish it. Just click the Boost Post button, and you'll get some options on how to reach more people. For your audience, you can choose to reach more of the people who like your page and their friends. Or you can reach a new audience by choosing from their location, age, gender, or even by their interests. Just type in what your audience might like or be interested in, and we'll automatically generate suggestions. Give your audience a name, then click Save. You can use the same audience for other posts you boost too. In the budget field, you can select a specific amount or enter your own. After you select a budget, we'll show you an estimate of how many people your post may reach each day. Select how many days you'd like your boosted post to run. Then click the Boost Post button, and your post will be delivered to your audience after a short ad review process. And as your post reaches people, you'll see how it's performing on your page post or in your page insights section. For more.
So the first question I get asked is, where can you boost from? Well, you could do it from your business page. And this is one of the main advantages to having a business page, is that on our personal profile, we are limited to getting the word out to people we know and their friends, basically people we're connected to. So to use a real estate example, if you had a farm territory and you were connected to 10 homeowners on a personal level inside that farm territory, from HOA meetings, PTA meetings, etc., how are you going to reach the other 490? The only option you have is either get those 490 people to like your business page, and we'd have to figure that out. That would be a very tough endeavor, and you probably wouldn't achieve it. Or you can use boosted posts to go ahead and reach that audience for like $8. So you would simply choose the zip code, you would choose homeowners, and then maybe there'd be another qualifier like people that live in houses over 3,000 square feet if it was an upscale subdivision. Organic reach for most business pages, when you post there, is like 2%. So this allows us to get legs under our posts and take that number from 2% to, if you're boosting a post to people that like your page, $1 will get you sometimes between 400, 500, 600 people. I have somebody on a webinar that I coach. It's Lisa Hill. And as soon as she started boosting her posts for $1 a day, and I told her to boost every post at least for $1 per day, she was amazed by the number of likes she got, the comments, the interaction, and also the reach. So we're not just doing it for reach, we're doing it really on the end game to get that interaction, because that's where the conversations come from, and we'll talk about that. But everybody's clear, this is why we start our post on our business page, whether it's our inventory at our antique store, it's our listings, our just solds, our open houses. Open houses, of course, are set up as an event. Your BNI meeting is set up as an event, but it all starts on our business page, and then we can share it to our personal profile, to the list that we've set up, and get that targeted organic reach, leverage that 7%. But now we can also advertise to anybody we want. And what we're going to do with our posts is we're going to promote all our posts, okay? And I'll talk about that. But the question I get asked is, well, Steve, why would I pay to promote my posts? Well, if you printed up flyers and you wanted to get them out to your target audience, and you went the traditional route of mailing it via snail mail, you would have to put a 50-cent stamp on it. Well, you've got to put a stamp on it through Facebook, but it doesn't cost you 50 cents. It's more like a penny or two. Now, the reason that we do it is, first off, there's 4 reasons. Now, the first and easiest of these is so we get a reaction. Now, a lot of people, they make a post and their business page, and they don't have any reactions. They go to their personal profile, they post something, they got 10 or 15 reactions. So the natural instinct from a vanity perspective is to then say, well, the business side isn't working. I'm going to start posting more of my stuff on my personal profile, and I'm going to shortcut Facebook's process. This is against the terms of service of Facebook. And it's also not helping you in the long run, because a lot of those vanity statistics over there are people that you already know. However, if we promote a post over here and we get a reaction from somebody we don't know, we can then either invite them to like our page, or we can go ahead and start a conversation. So our first goal is to post interesting stuff like local pictures, cool blouses, tax tip if you're an accountant or an attorney, and then get people promote it and get people to like it. The second reason that we promote posts is to get comments. So you can see in this screenshot, 1,064 people are reached. On the left side, you'll see the organic reach, actually. On the right, you'll see the paid reach. So just by getting the wheels going to a few people for a few dollars, This post caught legs because 11 people reacted to it with love, like, or wow. 2 people shared it, and then we got also comments. Now, if I wanted to go back over to Lisa Hill's comment with a private message and just say, hey, tell me why you feel this way, we can open a conversation. Or it might be a different kind of message like, hey, I saw you like my post. How's your first few weeks of fall been for you? So we could open a conversation. Now we get into a little bit tougher stuff. The first 2 are easy. The third one's a little bit tougher. You go ahead and you put an article up there, either something that links to your blog, your website, or somebody else's, and people may or may not be interested in this. So, to get somebody to click on it might or might not happen. The other thing is, in this example, I just copy and pasted an IRS article from the Washington Post onto the business page. Well, if people click on that picture, they click on that link, they're going to be taken to the Washington Post. So I paid $1 to send traffic over to the Washington Post. Now, this isn't necessarily a bad thing because I am coming up with interesting content for my fan base. It's not about me, it's about them. My entrepreneurial and unmarried partners would be very interested in this, as would people that are in real estate, so that they could be educated. The traffic is going to end up over there at the Washington Post, but along the way, they might give me a reaction like a like, a wow, a love, or one of the other reactions. And also, because they have interacted with one of my posts, I can then use an advanced technique called retargeting, where I'm going to go ahead and say, I put it out there to 1,000 people. I had 70 people click on the link. I want to start running more ads about tax stuff and also about unmarried stuff to those 70 people. We used to achieve this by having a Facebook pixel on our website, but now we can also achieve this by going to third-party sites because there's a feature inside the ad editor, I'll show you later, where you can target people that have just interacted with your post. So people ask me, should I promote other people's stuff? I was on a webinar with another speaker, and she said, don't go ahead and promote other people's stuff. I say always promote at least for $1, so you stay in the algorithm, your post, whether it's yours or somebody else's. But if it's your content, we might do $10 or $20. Like this article here, you could have went ahead and got in front of a Facebook Live and said, hey, I just read an interesting article in the Washington Post about the IRS giving big gifts to unmarried partners, and I want to talk to you about it. In that Facebook Live summary of the article, you might go 5 to 15 minutes. You might give them a link to the original article, but the reality is you're going ahead and then getting more people to watch you talk about it. And in my opinion, that would be the best strategy. But some of you are so busy, you don't have time, so you're going to just go to Hootsuite like I did here. You're going to find some good content. You're going to copy and paste it. And boom, you've got posts out there. Now, if you're a real estate agent, I've got in the members area over 100 posts like this that you can copy and paste, and I'm going to be adding to them on a regular basis. I have a new batch ready to be posted. If you're not in real estate, I'm also going to be posting as part of your membership, and this is why you want to keep your membership active and be a part of it, never shut it off. I'll be posting some pictures that you could post. I'm also going to post some questions that you can just copy and paste into Hootsuite and have them post for you, or you could use the publishing feature. And the fourth reason to boost a post would be to get an opt-in. Now, getting somebody to give you their email address is harder and harder. And so a lot of people start with this strategy, they fail, and then they say, well, I've given up on Facebook because I'm not getting any leads or I'm not getting any opt-ins. Your opt-ins are really going to be happening when people give you a reaction or a comment. They're basically saying, I saw it, I don't want to give you my email address, I'm acknowledging it, and from that point, you can open a conversation. But I have a lot of people, they're more serious about it. They say, Steve, I like that strategy, but I want to go to the next level. They'll set up an IDX search if they're in real estate right from Facebook or a link to it. They'll go ahead and get people to opt in via sending them to a landing page or that IDX search. and rock and roll. But along the way, just because people clicked on it, even if they move away and don't give you their email address at this point for the home value or whatever your offer is, free report, you can still retarget them either through the pixel or because they interacted with one of your posts. But getting the actual opt-in is hard. Getting someone to click on a link is a little bit easier. Getting them to like it while they're scrolling on their cell phone at Starbucks or commenting is easier. So then the question becomes, which posts are the best one to post? I said boost them all for at least $1 a day, and all means all. Stay in the algorithm. Even people I've told this to aren't doing it. I've got a few up there that aren't boosted right now as well, but I did that for a reason so I can show you the difference in reach and interaction. The reason is this will give them legs. It'll take it from 97 people reached here without boosting it to several hundred, even for $1 for a day. Now, a good number is $2 for 2 days, because what if the person that likes your page isn't on Facebook today? It'll get into their newsfeed tomorrow, theoretically. And why I say boost it is because when we boost it, Facebook has a nice little feature that they will add to your photo or they'll add to your message. And you can't even get this through the ad creator. They're starting to roll it out more, but not through all of their choices. They're starting to roll out, if you upload a picture on your business page, you could add a message us button. The Facebook Messenger, and I'm not going to go too deep down that rabbit hole today, but that's going to be your best friend moving forward. Right now in 2017, I would rather have somebody message me on Facebook than give me an opt-in of their email address, because they don't check their email, but they're on Facebook all the time. And if I can get them to initiate messaging me, let me show you what I mean. If I could get them to message me, let me see if I have a screen on this right here. If I could get them to send me a message, I can set up the Facebook bots to automatically follow up with them. I could go ahead and then say I want to use the pay to have Facebook Messenger's bots remind them that they need to be on the webinar, or ask them a question like, are you still in the market to buy? It's a super powerful strategy. It's beyond the scope of today, but understand that when you boost, you can go ahead and then choose to get that button, and we'll come back to this slide. But when we ask ourselves which posts are best to boost, you're looking to boost the posts that are already doing good, or if you're doing it from the get-go, ones that you think are going to do good, like local photos. I tell everybody, take a lot of pictures of your local area. If you live in Lakeland, take pictures of the Lakeland downtown on the first Friday. Take pictures of the lights as they put up the holiday trees. Take pictures at your favorite wine bars, things that people are going to say, oh, I know that place. I love that place. Let me give it some love. Funny memes that you've either created on your own by getting a great picture and then putting some text to it, not too much text, no more than 20%. You do that through Canva or WordSwag, creating, an enticing IDX search where people are going to ask questions about it or like it. The business stuff, blog articles, open houses, just listed, should also be boosted, but this is for a different reason. This isn't to create this high engagement. That's to get the word out and get maybe a conversion. But right now, when we're talking about this overall process, let's get interaction and let's create conversations. We want to go ahead and focus on the stuff that's going to get the most likes, the most memes, and the most reactions. So here's an example of, on our business page, sharing a post from Tony Robbins. A lot of my audience, the people that like our page, like Tony Robbins, so I thought this was a value. I shared it from his business page to ours. And all I did was click the share button. It said share to a page. I selected the business success training page. I added our hashtag 59 minutes to terrific, because he's kind of re-emphasizing what I tell you in the seminars. He said, I try to make sure I don't miss a day without reading for at least 30 minutes of something that's going to give me a new skill and highlight a new strategy. That's what I teach at 59 minutes to terrific. Read for 15 to 30 minutes, exercise, drink 2 big glasses of water, journal. And so I thought this was valuable. I shared it to the business page, and without boosting it, 58 of 5,000 people, 6,000 people saw it. So like 1% reach. So when I go ahead and add $1 or $2 to this number is going to jump to 500, 600 of my fans liking it, seeing it. Hopefully along the way, some like it, comment, and then I can monitor those reactions. The best post to post, though, for more money are your original content. You could go again through Facebook Live or a video and talk about this article, include the link, leverage Tony's name, be within copyright laws, and then boost it for more money because you are leaving a breadcrumb of credibility. You are positioning yourself with your audience as the expert. You're endearing yourself to them, and it takes a little more time, but it's worth it. Because the end game, as you know, when they click on this, they end up over at Tony Robbins' site. I don't mind because I believe in what he does, and go over there if you want. But why are we willing to invest the money? So we've talked about what to post, ideally your content, but boost all of them. Because as they come in, we're able to monitor and engage those conversations. So here I created a piece of original content. I got a picture of a soldier at a cemetery. You can get those from Shutterstock. You write that down, SHUTTERSTOCK.com. For $1, you can get something like that. Facebook's ad interface also allows you to access a lot of those images for free. So if your main purpose is to go ahead and just run an ad, you'll have access to their library. You could go to a website called Unsplash, UNSPLASH.com. Look for royalty-free images. I then uploaded it into an app that I have on my phone called WordSwag, so I could superimpose the text. Write that down, WORDSWAG. I put Memorial Day 2017. I had a hunch that this was going to get shared a lot based on my boosting it. So I also included you can't see it, but it says FB/Steve Black Speaker. So as people, as it was shared with people, or if people just decided to download it and not give me credit, I would end up getting credit. I'd like you to start doing that with your better images. There's also an app, if you don't want to use WordSwag, it's called Watermark. You can write that one down. That'll work on your phone. Watermark, just like it sounds. So I uploaded it here to my business page. I wrote some text, less is more. I included my hashtag so people could easily check out other stuff that I do. This was done on my business page, or one of them, my page called Steve Black Public Figure. And it got over 333 reactions. And now I'm able to go ahead and hover over here and get a quick view of the people plus another 314 that liked it. So what I'm going to do, I also can see who's commenting, and I can reply to these comments. And I'm going to take you step by step through. Once people are reacting or commenting, what do? But it starts here. I hover over it. I would then go ahead and click right here on this highlighted area. And that would take me to a new screen where I'm able to invite these people to like my business page. And let me show you how this works. So now what would come up when I click on that is a list of, again, the 333 people that have reacted to that post. And right now I am basically showing you why we are doing all this. A lot of people have no clue. They're like all proud that they got 100 likes, but they aren't doing this part. So they aren't actually doing anything except staying top of mind with people they know. You want to use your dollars not only to stay in touch with people you know, but to reach new people. Somehow I got into Steve Guggenheim's newsfeed. And I know how that I got in front of his newsfeed because he hadn't liked my page yet, because I have the option to invite him. How I got there was when I boosted this post, I boosted it not only to people that like my page, but also to their friends that lived in Washington and Seattle. Now, when I did that, I reached 7,800 people. You can't see this. I'll show you it later, but I only invested about $38. I only paid to reach about 3,100 people, but I reached 78 because people liked it, commented, and shared it, and it went organic. But as I get those likes, I then go ahead, I click right here on this hyperlink, and then this screen will pop up. And then you scroll this screen for people that don't already like your page, and you invite them to like. And what they receive is a simple little invite. And if you invite 100 people to like your page using this method every time you post, or a combination of posts for some of you, because you're not getting that many likes to get to start with, for every 100 you send out, you're going to get about 15 people liking your page. So this is one of the daily routines that you want to do. Put out content, check in 12 to 24 hours, come to this screen and invite them to like your page with a single click. Now, if I wanted to go to the next level with this beyond inviting, I would just click right here on Steve G's name, and I would be taken to his Facebook profile. And I would be able to see what he has publicly posted. Assuming I'm not a friend of his, I'm going to see, you know, where does he work at? What does he do? What state does he live in? What, is he a positive guy? Is he a negative guy? Does he like hunting? Does he like fishing? And nothing would stop me at this point from cold calling him. If he was in my target market, for me, it's a small entrepreneur, business owner, broker at a real estate company, I could then Facebook message him. I could call him. I could, find his email somehow, call his company, get his information, and I could reach out to him and say, "Hey, Steve, this is Steve Black. I'm with Business Success Trading." He says, "Yeah, I've seen you on Facebook. What's up, man?" I say, "Hey, I came across your profile. Looks like we have, a lot in common. I checked you out on Facebook. How do you know Tony?" He says, "Well, Tony's a friend of mine." And I go, "He's one of my coaching clients." He goes, "Oh, very cool. Well, listen, I didn't call to sell you anything. I just, I put together kind of a report that details, some things that are going on. I'd love to send it to you. Can I get your email address?" "Well, great. I have two packages. One's for people that are thinking about doing something, and one's people that aren't thinking about doing anything in this area. Which one do you want?" A process like this, whether you're in real estate, you're in mortgage, you're in financial services, you're in network marketing, this is gold. And this is how we go ahead and get leads. This is how we force people to refer their friends to us, even if they haven't actually taken the initiative to talk to people about us. So I hope you're getting excited. The second reason is, besides monitoring those likes, we just monitor the comments. And one thing that you want to do, as you see with the red arrow, on a daily basis, after you've put up a good piece of content, whether it's on your personal profile with your friends or on a business page, and promote it to reach more people, both people that like you and people that don't know you, but you want them to know you, you like their post. You like their comment, that they get notified that, hey, your comment was liked by the person who did it. Now they feel they have a relationship with you. You could choose, as you see with the green arrow, to reply, and then you would have a reply that would be showing. So you could say, "Hey, good for you for going to the cemetery. I make a goal of doing that first thing in the morning every Memorial Day as well." And then all of a sudden, other people see that, and they'll say, "Hey, I like what that's all about," and we can take that step one process to the next level off of people that are liking your replies. The ninja trick I always tell people with social media is take your online relationships offline, whether those are people that you're connected to on Facebook or LinkedIn or Instagram. If you have an opportunity to then send them a Facebook message to say, "Hey, I'm just new to social media. I like to talk to people. Are you open to having a phone call? I'm part of a Ignite You, and, we have 125 people that get together in Tacoma twice a week on Tuesdays and Fridays. I'd love to have you as my guest, and then, sit down and learn more about you." All these are opportunities to take these online relationships offline. I know a lot of you have people you're connected to on social media, and you haven't seen that person in more than a year or ever met them. So look for opportunities to get face-to-face. I bet it'll help you build your business. So you kind of got the game plan together, what we're going to be, why we're doing this. We're doing it to create engagement. So now we got to talk a little bit about how to actually post. And I'm going to go over the chat section and kind of open it up for Q&A. If you have any questions about what we talked to up to this point, just enter it in the chat box. Anybody have any questions? All right. Well, you know, the question you should be asking if you're a realtor is, how can I use this? Well, you put up pictures of the local area. You monitor these posts. You reach out to people. You say, hey, thanks for commenting, or you reach out to them like saying, hey, what's your favorite flavor of ice cream? Or, you know, have you ever been by the store? And the next thing you know, you have conversations going. You're asking about the 6-step process. You're going to have access to that. If you look at the chat box, you'll be able to download the new slides and see the whole 6-step process. But it all starts with looking great, making sure your profiles look great. So as people research you, they're impressed. You got a great profile pic. You got a great cover. You're going to add connections. That means on your personal profile, you get friends. On your business page, you get likes. Along the way, you're going to post interesting content, not content about you and your listings, your open houses, but content people are interested in. Like, where are the haunted house festivals right now? What are the 5 best ones in your area? Where can a kid go on a hayride? When January comes around, where are the offices for the tax assessor to get your homestead exemption? Then you automate some of this, because once you using Post Planner or Hootsuite, then we do what we're doing right now. Once we got those posts going, give them some legs, invest at least $1, sometimes $10 to $20 to get a post off the ground. I'm going to show you at the end of this webinar one that I have going 24/7. And what it is it's a post that says happy birthday. Let me see if I could show you the picture. It's this picture right here. And it shows up in people's news feeds who are having a birthday. So I took all the fans that are on my business pages. I use a promoted post feature that I'll show you later to target people that are having birthdays this week. And then I put this picture with a little text into their news feed. And so many people like this, comment on it, share it. I go up in Facebook's algorithm because I'm posting good stuff. I create goodwill with them. And I'm going to show you how to do this. So stay on the webinar end to end. Are some of these copyright info? I don't know what that question means, Dan, but if you're sharing people's posts, like the link in the Washington Post or Tony Robbins, and you're giving them credit, that's why they're on social media. That is not a copyright issue. However, if you went out and took Tony Robbins' picture, downloaded it, and then used it for commercial purposes that you would benefit, I bet you'd get sued. That's why we use those websites like Shutterstock, some of the other ones that Canva, and we either use their royalty-free images or we use the paid images. All right, so back to boosting via the blue button. So we know why we're doing this, so let's learn how to do it. I hope you guys are enjoying this. I really am excited about this webinar. So if we're going to post with the blue button, one of the reasons to do it is it gives you this option to add a button to your post. And that, I really love that, because usually, even if you go through that Add Creator, you might see something like people on the other end might see this in their newsfeed. It would say sponsored posts like this, and then they would say like the page. Well, people like the post, but they don't necessarily want to like the page right now, so that may or may not be effective for you. But if you include send message, then you're making it real easy for them to message you and say, hey, loved your post on the shortest distance between 2 points. I have a question about going to one of your seminars, and all of a sudden a conversation started. And as I said, I would rather them use this than even use an opt-in form, and it's easier to get them to do that. And how am I going to get that button there? I'm going to go ahead and boost the post for $1, and then even when my boost is done after a day for $1, that button is still going to show up in the post if they find it. You with me? So we might have a two-step process here. Boost your post initially for $1, get the button on the post, then use some of my other techniques to go ahead and expand that audience beyond the boost. So this is a reason why we might want to use the boost post button. Again, you're not going to have as many options. However, if you've done what I've taught you, which is to get a lot of likes on your business page, either by using the migration feature I've been teaching at the seminar for a year, or you've just went out there and organically done it. Now, if I want to boost a post from my mobile device or from the computer, I just click this radio button that says people that like my page. And and I have $1, so for $1, I can only get out to 70 to 200 people on a paid basis. I got to say, I don't want to reach all 5,000 or 6,000 on this page. I want to only reach people where I'm doing business. So I make it real easy to not only people that like my page, but that are living in these cities. And all I do to do that is I would click edit, and then I would go ahead and be given the option to target it based on geography. Let's say that you were doing an event in a certain part of town. You didn't want to necessarily promote the event, but you want to create brand awareness about networking or whatever you do. You go ahead and promote it to people that like your page, so you get a lot of engagement, and you only show it to people that are going to be in that city that you're in. Let's say you're in network marketing or direct sales, and you happen to be going to Washington State. You wanted the people to know your name. You would go ahead and then promote it to people that already like your page in that area. Or you could choose to people who like your page and their friends. So when we do the fundamental work, we get a lot of likes. Now boosting makes more sense than if you're just starting out on Facebook and you only have 20 likes on your business page. Because if you boost it to them, you're not going to reach very many people. Or if you boost it to them and their friends, that might be a good strategy for your $1. But what we'll also do, because we're going to use the Ad Creator, that drop-down menu, we're going to start creating audiences. And when you create these audiences, now they're saved, and you could just hand-pick one of those audiences. But again, you have to do everything right from the beginning. So Boost Place has its place. It's going to be more effective if you do everything else I teach you, including getting likes and creating these saved audiences. Even in that video that Facebook put together, it's about the organic food in San Francisco, targeting people that like healthy living and organic vegetables. See, they would save it, and then they could go ahead and just in one click say, I want to promote it to people that like my page that also, or in their example, people that just like organic stuff in San Francisco. Of course, that would be more than $1 post. That would be a $100 post or a $20 post boost. All right, so you can see how if you start it with the boost, that you're going to go ahead and get that button. Easy audience to go to as you get more likes, people that like your page or people that like your page and their friends. Maybe it's geo-targeted, maybe it's not. And then as you add the blue arrow, you'll have the option to use the drop down. So boosting post is getting better and better, but you need to do a few other things first, like get likes and create saved audience. The next screen that happens when you're using the blue button is you would scroll down and then it would say budget. So you can choose a daily budget, or you can choose a budget for the lifetime of the post. You could choose to run this ad until, January 1st of 2018, or you can choose to do it for as little as $1. In this example, we're going to use $1 a day. It's saying that based on your post, we guess that you'll reach between 84 and 220. Now that number might soar as people like and share it, but that's what you'll be paying to get in front of. Sounds like a pretty good deal to me. Over here in this green arrow, you'll see that that the audience here is 390. And why I point that out is sometimes when you boost a post or you create an audience and you go below 1,000 people, it'll try to say, hey, your audience is too narrow. You need to broaden it. You're going to see this less than 1,000 people. But how many less? Is it one person, 390, or 999? So this is one of the places where as you have those saved audiences, let's say I chose to just target right here to people that worked at Keller Williams in the Bothell office. That's a spreadsheet that I uploaded that has 225 agents. We were doing an event with them, so it took the spreadsheet, I uploaded it. Then it would say for $1, you could reach this many of 225. So I point that out to you. And then you also want to make sure that you're, for all your posts, that you're using the Facebook pixel. You've activated it. So now people that are responding, it fires the pixel, especially if they're going over to your website or they're going to your opt-in page. Now, a Facebook pixel is beyond the scope of what we're going to talk about today, but it's a little piece of code that they'll get, that you get once. Mine happens to be here. And all I do is I put that on a website, and then anybody that hits that website page, I can go ahead and retarget to them. It's something that you'll want to ask your web designer about, or whoever manages your web page. If you use a WordPress site, you'll just type in that code, and then you'll be able to see how many people went from the ad to that page. Let's say your page on great sweaters at your antique store, or your article on advertising, and then you could retarget to them. A little beyond today boosting, but these are some things that you need to be aware of. Just turn that on, set this for the time frame you want, set your budget at least for $1 a day. If it's a 7-day ad, it's at least $7, okay? And it's that easy. Facebook will then say, hey, we're doing a quick review on it, and then you'll get notified that your ad has been approved or there's an issue. 99% of the time it's going to be approved, because they would give you a red caution and say, hey, you have too much text in your picture, so you'd want to keep that below 20%. You could also request a manual review. Here you'll see that I changed the budget to, they're asking me if I want to add more to my budget. I'm going to decline their generous opportunity to take my ad from $1 to $3. And they also gave me a summary. If I clicked here, I would see the geo-targeting that I have for those 9 locations. So it's super simple to use. Now, that's the easy way. That's buying the salad that's pre-made. Now I'm going to show you the pros way to do it. And initially, you're going to want to go ahead and do this. And now, if you go the easy route, you'll have more targeted options. So I'm going to start in the upper right-hand corner. From my desktop interface, with that drop-down arrow, I'm going to go to where it says Create Ads, and now I'm going to have a lot more options at my disposal. First thing that's going to come up is a submenu that actually will say different, like traffic, reach, engagement, about 15 different options. We're going to go after engagement, so we'll choose engagement, and then we'll drop down. It'll show us this menu, and we'll have 3 choices: page likes, post engagement, or event responses. I'm not that interested in page likes unless I'm Coca-Cola. What I'm going to go after, though there are applications where you do want to get more page likes, let's say you're targeting a farm area, but I want to get a post engagement. I could go ahead and then invite them to like the page. So I'd rather set it up so that the ad is designed so that they're more likely to give me a like, a love, a wow, or a comment. If it's an open house or an event like for your leads group or your networking group, you set it up as an event on your business page, and then you choose this one that says event responses. But for 90% of our stuff, that we're going to go with this one right here. You're going to want to name it something. In this example, I have multiple business pages, so I put this on business success training. I name the post Memorial Day, and what kind of I'm using traffic, engagement, leads. I'm using an engagement ad. This allows me, when I go into the interface that shows me the results, to better quickly see how my ads are doing. Now, after I go ahead and say, okay, this is the next screen that shows up. And it would normally say, 192 million people on Facebook. It would say, they would have a drop down here that said 4 different choices, people, all people in the area. This wouldn't be filled out. This is what would pop up, and this is how you need to fill it out. So the first thing you're going to do with this green area, for a lot of your stuff, you're going to go after people who live in the location. That's going to take your audience, in this example, from 16,000 people to 8. Instead of people just driving through this zip code right here, So you could start with zip code. Then the second thing you could do, it really doesn't matter. Just set that one up to people who live. Go ahead and put the zip code. Now I've got people that are on Facebook in this zip code. And I got rid of the people that just drive in for the day, and I've got people that live in this high income zip code, okay? Depending on what you're promoting, you're gonna want to adjust the age. Let's say this is an open house, or it's an article about, it's a picture about a new pub opening, a new restaurant opening. I'm gonna promote this to people that live in this zip code that are between 29 years of age and 65. I don't care whether they're men or women in this example, but I also went down to detailed targeting and I chose homeowners. So doing these 4 clicks right here, I was able to take this broad audience of probably 50 to 150,000 people, narrow it down to people that live here that are homeowners. And now it has kicked me out an audience of 8,400 people. Now, if I want to reach all 8,400 people, the general rule is about $10 to reach 700. So if I'm willing to invest $120, I'm going to reach those people that are going to be on Facebook over the time period that I've designated. I hope that makes sense. If you have any questions, enter them into the chat box and we'll come back to them. I'm not monitoring that live right now, but I can come back to them later if you have any questions, or write your questions down. Now, this box over here shows you the estimated daily results. Now, this is based on $11. Okay, if you dropped it down to $1, these numbers are going to go down dramatically, like 50 to 85. But this is, you know, if you're going to really do this and you wanted to reach 8,000 people, why drip it out at $1 a day? Set it up as $11, maximum budget $120. Set it up to go for a week or two. And let's see what kind of engagement we get on our posts from homeowners or comments. You might be able to open up a conversation where you're able to go out there and sell them insurance, or sell them, you know, an idea of selling their property. You're going to save the audience, which would be just scrolling down, and then you only have to do this once. So now you'd have an audience that you would save, and you would call it 32789-homeowners. 29 plus. So now when you're on your boost post option, you want to just use the blue button. If you say, today I want to reach that audience of homeowners in that zip code again, all you're going to do is click there. Call it homeowners 32789, maybe add 29 plus so that you know what that audience is. And when you go into your boost post on your phone and you've got 125 audiences, you'll be able to get it the right message to the right person. It'll default to automatic placements. I would recommend that we use edit placements to use this strategy. And we'll leave this as all devices recommended, the yellow area. But by going to edit placements, we got these 2 to open up. And what we're going to do is we're going to uncheck all the options except Facebook's newsfeed. Since we are after engagement from a very specific audience, where we want likes, loves, and comments, we aren't going to go ahead and dilute our message and advertise on Instagram or advertise on third-party networks. We're going to get more of our dollars working where the dollars are going to be more effective, and that's Facebook. All right, now we could always come back and run a second ad to millennials on Instagram, but it might be a little bit different, and it might be a little bit different strategy. All we would do then is get into Instagram's newsfeed and stories. The first thing is the image is going to probably be a different size. So Facebook owns Instagram, but what I recommend, and what most of my friends that get real results, a lot of bang for their buck, they go ahead and they target one of these at a time. I hope you're caught that, okay? So these are what we do on that screen, and when you go through and run your first ad, just have the slides open or have your printout there so you can see what I'm doing. This is the most current information. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to go to the budget, and you can either use the drop-down lifetime or we're going to use daily. This can be as low as $1. You can run your ad continuously, like I run my happy birthday ads targeted to people whose birthdays are coming up this week who have liked my page. Or you can set a start and an end date. Now, this start date does not have to be today. You can go ahead on Monday and start running your open house promotions for Friday, the 11th through Saturday the 12th, or through Sunday the 13th the Sunday the 15th, Friday the 13th to Sunday the 15th, and you can set this to shut off at 1 p.m. or at 4 p.m. These are Pacific time, so if you're on the East Coast, add 3 hours to it. If you're logging in on the East Coast, it might show East Coast times. So we're going to do one thing, the budget. How long is it going to run? When's it going to start or stop? We're going to leave the rest of this alone. And then this is going to show us what our estimated reach is of the total reach. Okay? If I was going after an audience of 8,200, if I really wanted to ramp it up, I could do an ad for $120 for 2 days, $60 a day maximum budget, or $120 for the lifetime budget. And the great thing about Facebook, it can scale it up that fast. That's why when we promote our content and our events like open houses, we want to reach a lot of people, not over a 14-day period, but all between Friday and Saturday and Sunday when we're top of mind and they're thinking about what are we going to do this weekend? It's cloudy out. Let's go to an open house. So great thing about Facebook, you can get out there as fast or as slow as you want. My birthday ad that runs perpetually, that's $5 a day, but the audience is so small, I never spend more than 20 cents a day. But it's a nurture ad. It goes ahead and keeps me top of mind. And then the final screen that you'll come to after you okay all that stuff is where you create the ad. And I'm giving you an example of the birthday ad here. So if I wanted to run an ad to people's whose birthday it was, instead of where it said homeowners, under demographics, let me see if I go there where we targeted it. Instead of homeowners right here, I would choose people. I would just type in the words upcoming birthdays. And then I would drop down to another one below it where it says connection type and choose people that like my page whose upcoming birthday it is. I would choose, do I want to promote this from this page or another page? I actually created a post that doesn't appear on my timeline. It's called a dark post. It's a post that's scheduled to go in the future, but it'll never actually be posted to my page unless I choose it. Not to confuse you, but you may have heard people talk about dark post. I went ahead and I started promoting a post that isn't scheduled to come up on my on my page until January 1st. So here it is. That's called pre-juicing your post. So if you have an open house, you don't want it to hit your page until Friday, you and your assistant are sitting down on Monday, you can go ahead and schedule that post to appear Friday at noon when a lot of people are getting ready to leave work and go home and have conversations with their spouse. In the meantime, you could also be advertising it so it gets into people's feeds. And then when it hits Facebook, it'll have a lot of likes, comments, and shares already. You can monitor those and you'll get more organic reach. It's an advanced strategy. I wasn't even going to talk about it, but that's how this is set up. But the meat of this is I go ahead, I type in something short and sweet, happy birthday week. I gave myself a hyper tag in 2 different spots. I said make it the best ever. I used an emoji of a birthday cake. Now, because I originally set this up as a boost, I'm able to go ahead and have the button there that says send message. They are rolling this out to some of your accounts where you won't even have to boost it and you could do it. Always go ahead and take advantage of that. Now, there's different options where it'll say buy now or learn more. Your 2 most popular, make a note, is either send message or learn more. The other ones are too committed, like call now. People are like, well, I like it, but I don't want to call my question in. I'll just make a comment below. But this is very non-confrontational. People click there and then they send a message like, how'd you know it was my birthday? And I say, oh, a little bird told me. I say, how you doing with your social media? Not good. Maybe you should become a member of our program where you can have ongoing things. Yeah, I've been thinking about it. Great. We're running a special. Let's get you registered. And I'm on my way to making a sale. In reality, I don't even try to make sales. I just have conversations and people invite me to events and then I make the sales from there. But it's the same in your business. So anyways, again, if I could get them to do that, the bots can take over if I want. That's another lesson we'll be covering later in the year or early in 2018. But again, I run this perpetually. You can do that with upcoming birthdays. Just make sure that you also set that the device they're on is they're the people that like your page, so you're not just randomly wishing people happy birthday. All right, so we're back at, we've promoted the post either via the button or via the ad creator, and now we got results. So a couple things that you're going to be able to monitor these results. You know, we talked about engaging with the 333 things. You could also click on share, see who shared it. You can send them a comment like, thank you for sharing my post. What are they going to be encouraged to do in the future? Share more posts. You could ask those people a question. Did you have a loved one that, I'm conducting a survey of people that shared this. Did you happen to lose somebody, a friend or family member in the military? And they start telling you about that they lost both their father and their brother. All of a sudden, you can have a conversation not about your business or opportunity, but about them. But now you have a friend, you say, hey, is it okay to send you a friend request? And now you've went from your business page to, hey, you're a neat person, let's be friends on Facebook. And again, I'm looking at this right in my news feed. I'm able to see it. You're not going to see that when you look at the post. That's one important thing here. I look there to see how this post did. I don't even have to go into these analytics. I just look right here. I can see 7,800 people. I hover over it. I see how many were paid in organic, and I'm good. I also can click this button right here where it says view results. And that's where it would show me that I paid $38 to do it. You know, 60% of the people that clicked on it were women, 40% were men. The average, I got more clicks from the 55 to 65 demographic than I did from millennials. And now if I really wanted to tweak it out, next time I do a military post, I don't even bother going to the millennials with it. I only go to my audience that really reacts well, and I even get more juice out of it. You can't do that with postcards. You can't do that with mailers, but you can do it with these, and that's why we name them properly so we could tweak it. Like this one, this guy at Ignite You Travel, a friend of mine, Kieran Murray, he filmed a Facebook Live. I went to his business page. I shared it to my business page. I added a comment about it being a huge success and that we still have some tickets for our next event. I promoted it for like, $5. And right now, as of last night, when I clipped this, I went ahead and still had $1.29 left on my post. I can go through these comments and see who's liking it. I can send them a flyer. I can engage them. I can send them a coupon code. I like this guy's comment. And when I go back to Tampa, I'm on his radar. So I hope you've really enjoyed this webinar. We aren't done. I'm going to open it up for Q&A, but if you don't know who I am, I'm Steve Black. I conduct the Success Summit Seminar.com that goes around the country. If it's not coming to your city, fly in and check it out. You're going to get more ideas in one day than most trainers will give you in a week. If you are one of my students, if you ever have a need for a big event or you want us to come in and train your people or even do webinars for your people, you can hire me to do that. My mobile business card is steveblack.biz. You just type that into your browser and then you'll be able to find our business page, us on LinkedIn, message me personally. Or you could go ahead and just message our office. It's actually sales@businesssuccesstraining.com, 770-375-5208.